Hey everyone, Matt and V here from the Inception Agenda, and we're here to talk to you today about EAAs, BCAAs, the differences, where you typically find them, what they're used for, and how they can help you in achieving your training goals. So to start off, we've got BCAAs, and those are branch chain amino acids. And V, if you can tell the viewers what that exactly means.
Yes, so branch chain amino acids are the three common amino acids used and studied a lot. So you've got your leucine, most of it anabolic amino, you've got isoleucine and valine. So basically BCAAs over the years have been studied to enhance recovery. Yeah. So that's the main purpose of them. We consume protein, and protein basically breaks down into amino acids. And we've found that consuming BCAAs, in particular intra-training, whether training will be, in the gym, footy, martial arts, whatever you're doing, we've noticed that if you're taking your amino acids, your branch chain amino acids, your recovery does improve.
Yeah. Now, one thing that a lot of people who'll be familiar with aminos about is ratios. And you see the pretty common ones are 10-1-1 and 2-1-1, 2-1-1 being the most common. Sometimes you see 4-1-1, but do you want to take the viewers through or listeners, viewers, depending on whether they're watching us on video, what those ratios mean?
Yeah, so basically 2-1-1 is the most studied ratio in branch chain amino acids. So what that means is the content of each amino is classified as 2-1-1. So the majority of BCAAs is your leucine, so that covers your 2, and then your isoleucine and valine is basically your 1-1. Yeah. So in total, they normally come to about 5 grams in total of amino acid.
And then you see with different aminos again, that you'll see some have got just those core 3 aminos in there, and then others that have got a massive list of other aminos in there. Do you want to sort of enlighten us on that side of things?
Yeah, so basically you've got your branch amino acids and your essential amino acids. And essential amino acids have your 3 amino acids in there already, but they've also got your other 6 as well.
Yeah.
So in total, there's 9 essential amino acids. And now what the market is basically saying is that these guys or the companies are bringing out essential amino acids are saying, hey, don't take your BCAAs, just take your EAAs because they're better. Now on paper, more is better. You take your essential amino acids, you're already getting your branch amino acids in there, so technically it's better. Now, where they don't tell you is that in most EAA formulas, you don't actually get a 2-1-1 ratio of your branch amino acids. So leucine content's down. And leucine being the most abundant and necessary amino acid for your anabolic response, our recovery response, our muscle building response. So unless the product actually has EAAs added with BCAAs, then you're not getting the correct ratios. Yeah. So you're just limiting yourself on what you need. Now, from personal experience, I haven't really found a difference between using a BCAA or a separate EAA. I definitely prefer a combination, and I'll tell you why. Because a combination I can use throughout the day. So I find using EAAs throughout the day in my diet is more beneficial than using straight BCAAs for a recovery point of view and getting the nutrients I need throughout the day for my recovery. Now, I'm not going to go and say that EAAs are better than BCAAs because I just don't believe that. I think there's a time where you take your BCAAs and a time when you take your EAAs. And if you can get a supplement which has both, perfect.
Yeah. And so that really comes down about making sure that you've got a good dosage of both the BCAAs, EAAs, and
Correct.
What sort of levels of dosage should the listeners be looking for?
So doses in terms of how much you need?
Yeah, how much content of BCAAs or EAAs you
need.
Yeah,
so you definitely need 5 grams of your BCAAs and you're looking between 5 to 10 grams of your EAAs in total.
So if you're getting anything between a 10 and 15 gram serve, you're probably on the money in terms of a product which is going to give you the result that you're after.
100%. 100%.
And then I think the other thing with BCAAs and EAAs that really does need to be spoken about, and it's got absolutely no performance benefit whatsoever, but it's taste. BCAAs, EAAs, it comes down to a lot about flavoring as well.
Oh, 100%.
And it's a good way to get water in. because a lot of people struggle to drink the amount of water that they need when they're training or when they're trying to lose weight or trying to put on lean muscle. You need a good 2 to 3 liters of water a day typically, sometimes even up to 4 if you're a bigger guy. And if you're trying to drink that much water, it gets boring.
Correct.
And so BCAAs and EAA blends are a great way of flavoring your water to make it a lot easier to drink. And so then with that, you've got to start to think about how much artificial sweeteners in them, whether there's actually sugar present, so there's some form of carbohydrate in there. So again, as we've said in other videos, it's about educating yourself and understanding what's on the back of the label.
100%. And picking the particular brand as well, making sure it's trusted, what you're actually using them for. A lot of people come in and talk to us about, do I actually need an amino acid? Sometimes they don't because they're not training enough, or their requirements just don't need it because they're getting a lot of, nutrition through their diet. But for majority of us, I think it's a great idea. A lot of us don't drink enough water, as you said, and we all need more recovery.
I mean, I let my kids drink it because it's a great way of them, it's better than them drinking Coke or something like that. So, it's a sugar-free drink that they can have and they're getting a little bit of benefit from it. I mean, they run around like crazy. They train, they're doing martial arts, everything like that. So it's going to help their recovery at the end of the day. But it's a healthy way of them getting in some fluid as well. So, as long as they taste nice and they're not loaded with sugar, then that's a win.
Great replacement for your energy drinks, coffee, things like that people drink throughout the day, maybe too much of them. I know when I'm having my BCAAs or EAAs, amino acids to put them in total, is I just don't need to drink as much of the other things like fizzies and things because, and to be honest, they really help suppress your appetite. Have you noticed when you drink them, you don't really crave too much sweet things?
And I can tell you that when I'm on prep and I'm cutting out all forms of sweetener, I really do crave my BCAAs because I don't have them. And then finally, I guess pre, intra, or post?
All the above. I'm a big fan of intra because, as you know, amino acids in the purest form, so the absorption rate of amino acids is spectacular. So as we're training, we're tearing micro muscle fiber. Amino acids are going in, they're starting the recovery process straight away, which enhances your endurance. It helps with energy and uptake of protein as well. So many benefits to intra. But I know a lot of people don't like drinking sweet things when they're training, so you can have a pre and post as well.
And you can get them in unflavored varieties as well. So there's all sorts of options out there. To be honest, I haven't seen a blend in an unflavored variety now I think about it, but I've seen straight BCAAs unflavored. So I mean, for me, I tend to go intra for mine. I just, I normally slug back a couple of liters of water while I'm training. But that's just, a personal preference thing again. So, and what sort of dosage ratios to body weight would you say?
That really depends on the type of training. Really. So 5 to 10 grams, within a 1 to 2 hour period is more than efficient. So that basically covers, and most amino acid or EAA, BCAA blends, 1 scoop to about 700 mils or 800 mils of water should equate to about 1 to 2 hours of training.
Great. Well, this was Matt and V for the Inception Agenda. Thanks for listening.